Well, it looks like the news is just not letting up today. We have one more thing to talk about. This was something that was shown to me this morning. I questioned it at first. Didn't know if it was legit or not. Figured I was going to wait it out. And now we have some confirmation that this is legit. This is exactly what we think it is. I asked a very reliable source, and they were like, yep, the logo is legit. The information is legit. The item is legit. Say hello to Transformers Legacy. This is technically the first ever Legacy toy that we know how it looks now. Transformers Legacy Titan Class Metroplex Cybertron Edition. Now, for people that are confused who this is and what this is, because this doesn't look like the Metroplex they know, we talked about it because of the early listing leaks and how we were going to be getting a Cybertron Metroplex. We kind of looked at it in one of two different ways. Could have been a Cybertronian Metroplex, a la the War for Cybertron interpretation. And when I say War for Cybertron, I mean the video game series, War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron. Or it could have been Transformers Galaxy Force Megalo Convoy, a.k.a. 2006's Cybertron Metroplex, which was from the giant planet, or the Gigalonia, as it was called in the Japanese version. It looks like it's going to be that version, actually. And it's going to be our Titan class. Now, the listing here says that it's Titan class Metroplex Cybertron, 22-inch scale, triple changer feature. It has the robot mode, the worker bot mode, and the excavator mode. Same thing like the old toy. The old toy actually technically also had a fourth mode, technically, which was it had a super tall mode, a squat kind of smaller robot mode, and then it had like a kind of city mode, and then it had an excavator mode. And then there was stuff that was unlocked with the force keys and stuff like that. So this one, it has just the, pretty much, I call it the base mode, but they're going to refer it as the worker bot mode. And then they have the excavator mode, and then they have the robot mode here. Has this giant axe, which is this giant like pinwheel kind of thing going on. And his bucket scoop accessory, which is obviously like an excavator. And it says here, includes FOP custom illustration, which means front on package illustration. So it's going to have this brand, fancy art on it, probably similar to what we saw already with the Leader Class Studio Series 86 Starscream. That's going to have this full box art kind of thing, which is confirmed later on down here. It says packaging is going to be a closed box. So it's going to be a closed box. You don't see the item, but that has been the case up to this point when it comes to the Titan classes anyways. It says here a expected shipment and retail date of, and get this, I'm actually quite surprised, August of 2022. A lot sooner than I thought it would be. Usually it's a little later. But it actually, it kind of makes sense now that I think about it, because the Ark was kind of in that same bubble. 2 per case, typical for most of the Titan classes. And then here's the one. MSRP, $189.99. Up $20 from our Ark that we just got, which was $169.99. So there's going to be a $20 increase for our Titan class. So after taxes and everything said and done, you're talking almost $200 now. And then we have our Transformer Legacy logo, so it confirms how the logo is going to look. Everything looks dandy. Now, it looks like the Cybertron version. I'm looking at it super deeply, and then looking, because I own two versions of this one. I own the Galaxy Force one and the Cybertron version. And it has a lot of the same visual cues, the same kind of transformation. It almost feels like it's a blown up version of it. But again, this is based off of this tiny image here. 22 inches, par for the course, very tall figure for the Titan class. It's going to be a little spindly, much like the original Gigalo Convoy, aka Cybertron Metroplex, which wasn't a very beefy, kind of large figure. And that is that, really. I mean, there's not much really we could say about it. It does lack from, the fact that they left out a cyber planet key. so it's probably not going to have that gimmick, or a missile launching thing. Who knows? No minicon either. Doesn't have his minicon with him. So very interesting take that they're going to be going with this. But the way that I see it is they want to keep that trademark. So they figured, look, we could go with the traditional Metroplex route, or we could go with something that's a little different. And Legacy seems to really be about, if you look at the lineup for Legacy, it's a little bit of everything. I mean, especially when you even dive into the exclusives, it's a little bit of everything. It's Transformers Prime, Beast Wars, Japanese stuff, Generation 1, and now even Unicron Trilogy. So everything seems to really be covered here right up to the Titan price point. And now that we know also that the Commander is going to be part of the big combiner team, it's going to be Motormaster, and then we're going to have the Limbs and the Deluxes. So we're going to have our Stunticons. It's going to be a very interesting year. Very, very interesting year. But it is going to be kind of a shame because some people were really hoping that this would be another chance to get a Metroplex figure. It's been quite a couple years since that inaugural Titan class was created for us, and that Metroplex made its debut in SDCC and then later on in retail. And now that one goes for pretty good money because it's, I've said it in the past, it's when you have that's the only version of that character until there's something better, that version will hold its value. Name other Metroplex figures that are of that kind of size and price point that people will want. You have the SDCC one, you have the Japanese version, aka the Chinese version, and you have the retail release. And the difference between them is just chrome and matte white pretty much between them. Not much of a big difference. And of course some PVC figures that were included with the SDCC one and the Hong Kong edition. But otherwise, they're all kind of the same size and the same mold. And that was the go-to for literally, how long has it been now? 5-6 years? It's been a while. So the way that I see it is we got to really we got to really just figure it out right now for some people, because as it stands right now, it's going to be one of these situations that I guess they're going to have to wait until they're going to get the Metroplex that they really want. It might take a couple years. Maybe it might, another 4 years after this trademark, and then they'll revisit a Generation 1 Metroplex again, especially now that they finally got their Cybertron version out of their system. But very interesting. Very interesting. I wonder what Aaron Archer thinks about this, because he had his hand in designing this one. So very, very, very interesting. Let me know what you think, guys. I know this is going to be a very polarizing one, but we know way in advance now, and it's kind of funny, the first item that we know way in advance now for Transformers Legacy is our Titan class.